What's going on, everyone? So, according to reports, the Golden State Warriors are going to release Kevon Looney. Now, the reasoning behind this is because they want to clear some salary. They want to kind of drop their tax down a little bit. Right? They're not a team that, at the moment at least, is expected to be competing for an NBA championship. Obviously, they want to make some moves, make a big splash in the offseason, but they definitely want to cut down on some of their tax bill. They have a lot that they need to figure out. Like, what are they going to do with Chris Paul? Are they going to let him go? Klay Thompson, right? What are they going to do with him? Are they going to pay him, or are they going to let him go? With the emergence of Trace Jackson Davis, kind of makes Kevon Looney a lot more expendable because, one, he's cheaper, right? He's younger, and you also have Draymond Green, and they want to go try to find a real, like, 7-foot center, right? So it's kind of like, well, if they're going to do that with Trace and Draymond, Kevon Looney kind of becomes the odd man out, and they want to give him an opportunity to go elsewhere. Now, if I'm the Lakers, I think you bring him in. Right? Now, obviously, it depends on what other teams could potentially be looking to go and offer him as far as a contract-wise. But if you can get him for the vet minimum, I think you do it. Right? Now, obviously, the Lakers, they need a center. They need size down low. Kevon Looney, he's not a big, sizable center, right? I mean, he's like 6'9", but he is strong, sturdy. To me, he is a just incredible rebounder, especially on the offensive side of things. And one of the Lakers' biggest issues was rebounding the basketball. So if you could bring a guy like Kevon Looney in, where he can come in and really kind of help, even alongside Anthony Davis, like you put AD at the 4, you could put him at the 5 at times. I would still go look to get another center. We'll touch on that more in a moment. But, like, if you can get a versatile center, like, even like Valanciunas, who can step out a little bit. He's not really a three-point guy, but, he can kind of step out in the 15-foot range, right? Maybe you could work something out, try some just experimentation in that regard. But I don't know. I like the idea of Kevon Looney, primarily for his rebounding, right? He's not going to give you much in the scope of the offensive side of things, right? Now, he could be a lob threat, low post, offensive rebound, put back type guy. He's going to trickle in some points, but to me, it's more so of like just the offensive, just second chance opportunities that he would provide and bring. Now, again, I don't think he's like, you have to sign him. Like, Kevon Looney's there, like, you cannot miss out on Kevon. Like, I don't think it's that, but I think that, like, to me, he's like an added luxury. I don't necessarily want him in place of like a real center, right? Like, if you told me you could have Valanciunas or you could have Kevon Looney, give me Valanciunas, right? Because I do want real size. I do want a real big body, even like an Andre Drummond, right? Like, I'd rather have a big body, a big size, traditional big man rather than Kevon Looney, again, who's kind of undersized. But if you could get, say, an Andre Drummond and then add in a Kevon Looney and have him just kind of be like the spot minute guy, kind of allow you to play AD maybe at the 4 a little bit more, right? Obviously, that could require you to play LeBron at the 3 a little bit more. But if you can kind of work it out and you have Kevon Looney basically as like your third backup, then I don't think you say no to that. The questions are a couple questions, right? Because one, diving into like the traditional big man route. One, if Jackson Hayes sticks around, then I don't know if you go and sign Kevon just because, right? Like, do you really want your 2 back? Because you're not going to go and sign then another big man, right? You're not going to, like, if say Jackson Hayes does stick around and then you go and sign Andre Drummond, like, you're not going to then sign Kevon Looney. Or if you sign Kevon Looney, then you're not going to go sign Andre Drummond, right? But, like, to me, it's like if Jackson Hayes leaves, right, and now it's like, okay, well, we basically only have Anthony Davis, right? You have, like, Colin Caston and stuff like that. And we'll get into the draft side of things here in a moment. But, like, if it's one of those things where it's like, okay, you basically just have Anthony Davis, then yes, bring in Kevon Looney. Bring him in. I think he could be very serviceable as a backup guy. Then, if you can get, like, again, an Andre Drummond, a Valanciunas, whatever, then I think you could do that and kind of figure it out and work it out, slot him in. Obviously, if you get an Andre Drummond, again, spacing becomes an issue, right? Because now you got 2 bigs that can't really shoot. But again, I think if you interchange those guys, especially over the course of the regular season, right? LeBron's going to miss games. So say LeBron misses 20 games or whatever, right? Well, now you could slot Anthony Davis at the 4 and start a Drummond or start a Looney. And then the games that AD misses, right? LeBron could stay at the floor. You could slot in Looney. You could slot in an Andre Drummond, whomever, right? I think you could kind of work it out. And then once you get to the playoffs, I think just depending on the matchups and whatnot, I think could go a long way. Maybe even kind of dice up the minutes where, say Anthony Davis is playing, 35 minutes, right? And you could have the other minutes kind of trickled in where each guy's getting X amount. Obviously, if the Lakers draft, let's say they draft a Zach Edey, then I don't think you have the need for another big man. But I still, again, if Jackson Hayes leaves, if Jackson Hayes stays, right, and you draft Zach Edey, which, again, I believe the Lakers are going to trade the 17th pick. I do. I don't think that they're going to keep it. I think that they're going to end up trading it. But let's say, for argument's sake, just for this, say you draft Zach Edey, Jackson Hayes sticks around, then I think, no, you don't bring in Kevon Looney. But if, again, Jackson Hayes leaves, let's say you draft Zach Edey, then I would bring in Kevon Looney, right? Because now Kevon, he can come in, help with the rebounding, like I said, kind of be your third big man, but I think you kind of work it out to where, maybe even at times have, again, both of them slotted in to help with the rebounding if, Anthony Davis misses a game or something like that. I don't hate the idea. Right, it just, again, if a team comes in, because there's talks about like the Cavs really want him. I could see a team like the Thunder maybe going after him to kind of help with just the rebounding and whatnot down in the interior. Right, there's definitely going to be teams, in my opinion, that I think will try to bring in a Kevon Looney. But if you can convince him and kind of entice him to come, again, depending on the situation, and it's not like there's this huge plethora of big men. Right, it's like Valanciunas and Andre Drummond is essentially the main, I guess, kind of prizes this offseason at the center position. Now, obviously, the Lakers could end up trading for somebody, right? Maybe they work out some deal. Just an example. But, let's say they went in, Atlanta, and they traded for, DeJounte Murray and Clint Capella. Again, just an example. Well, then now I don't think you have as much of a need for Kevon Looney. It also depends on the role, right? Does he want to go somewhere where he's going to play 30 minutes a game? Then it kind of becomes kind of hard. But if he's like, hey, no, I'm fine playing 15, 20 minutes a game, be a rebounder guy, do the dirty work, do what he does best, because that's what the Lakers need, right? The Lakers really need dirty work guys. The Lakers really need guys that will sacrifice their body, chase down the loose balls, help with the rebounding. Right, that aren't afraid of the moment, and it gives you another body that you can throw at multiple pieces. You could throw at Jokic. Obviously, he's not going to stop Jokic, but he can commit the hard foul. He can be aggressive. He can try to box him out. Right, be physical on the interior. Right, those are the kind of guys you need. I see a lot of people that are like, oh, Xavier Tillman. Right. To me, if it's Xavier Tillman or Kevon Looney, give me Kevon Looney all day. Again, he's one of the best offensive rebounders in the game. He's an excellent rebounder, period, especially for being, pretty much undersized. 6'9", 6'8", 6'9". Right? So, to me, I'd rather have a Kevon Looney in that role that you're bringing in and kind of having a backup. Right? Now, if you were to miss on, say, Valanciunas, he goes elsewhere, and Drummond goes elsewhere, and it's okay, let's say even Jackson Hayes does stick around, then to me, it's a no-brainer. You bring in Kevon Looney, right? Now you have Anthony Davis. Jackson Hayes can continue to grow and develop, right? Hopefully continue to learn from Anthony Davis. And again, if I'm Jackson Hayes, if I'm Jackson Hayes, I'm staying with the Lakers, period, just because, who better to kind of be your mentor than Anthony Davis? And if I'm Jackson Hayes, I'm basically gluing myself to Anthony Davis all offseason. Like what Rui did with LeBron. If I'm Jackson Hayes, I'm doing the same thing with Anthony Davis. Right? So let's say he does stick around and you miss out on any other centers, then I think a Kevon Looney, if he's your fallback plan, I don't think that that's a terrible fallback plan. I just look at him more for the offensive rebounding and being a guy that could be very impactful and very helpful in key spots. It's not a guy that I would necessarily want to play. If he's playing 35 minutes a game or 30 minutes a game, then we're probably in trouble, unless he's just, having one of those dominant performances. But I'm talking about generally, if he's playing 30, 35 minutes a game, then I think you stay away. Like, you're in trouble. And if he wants that, I think you stay away from him. But again, if he's willing to come in and just be like, hey, I'm willing to just be a role guy, I'm willing to come in. I mean, he's 28 still, so it's not like he's 35 or anything. He's still very young, right? So, like, to me, if he's willing to come in, accept the role, buy in, hey, you need me 10 minutes, I'm here. You need me 15 minutes, I'm here. You need me 30 minutes, one game, right? Like, Anthony Davis and LeBron have the night off or something like that, right? Let's go. I'm here, right? DMP, I'm here. Whatever it is, right? Like, if he's open to that, I think that it's a no-brainer. But, again, I don't think he's like a priority on the pecking list just because I'd rather have a true 7-footer. Like, I'd like a more traditional big man rather than like an undersized big man. But if all else fails and he's kind of like your break glass in case of emergency, I think you could do worse than Kevon Looney. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Are you somewhere in between? Do you think like, yeah, go get Kevon Looney? Or do you think like, nah, stay away for Kevon? Do you think it just kind of depends on what else kind of falls into place? I feel whatever your thoughts are. Love to hear. Let me know down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. It's me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.